Country music star Blake Shelton has left fans in tears after announcing his divorce from Gwen Stefani. The couple, who tied the knot in the summer of 2021, had long been seen as one of the most enviable and seemingly unshakable couples in the entertainment world. Their romance had once looked like a fairy tale, a perfect blend of country charm and pop stardom. Yet now, Shelton's announcement has shattered the illusion of their flawless relationship, leaving both fans and the media stunned. Join us as we uncover the full story, retracing the steps of love, heartbreak, and the emotional turning points that brought Shelton to this moment. Blake Shelton's personal life has often mirrored the stories told in his heartfelt country ballads, filled with twists, turns, moments of hope, and chapters of deep sorrow. His first real story of love began long before he was a global name, back when he was simply a man chasing a dream. On November 17, 2003, Shelton married his longtime partner, Gwen. Their relationship was a testament to loyalty and devotion. A bond built before fame had placed Shelton in its blinding spotlight. Gwen stood beside him during the uncertain early years of his career, offering support while he climbed the ladder of success. Yet, only 3 years later, in 2006, their marriage quietly ended. It was a private conclusion to a relationship that had carried him through the earliest chapters of his journey. But it also marked the beginning of a new path as life moved forward. Destiny had another meeting prepared, one that would change both his music and his heart. In 2005, during CMT's 100 Greatest Duets concert, Shelton crossed paths with Miranda Lambert. Their introduction wasn't just a chance meeting, it was the spark of something larger. Lambert joined him on stage for a cover of Michael Buble's song Home, and together they created a rendition so powerful it reached #1 on the Hot Country Songs chart. Their voices blended like they were meant to, but it wasn't just harmony and music. Behind the curtain, a deeper affection began to grow. For 4 years, Shelton and Lambert built a relationship that was both professional and deeply personal. Then, on May 9, 2010, Shelton proposed to her, sealing their love with a promise. A year later, on May 14, 2011, they were married in Boerne, Texas. The wedding was filled with joy, laughter, and hope, and fans across the country celebrated them as the golden couple of country music, a pair whose love seemed unshakable. Tied together by passion and song, but joy and pain often walk hand in hand. Just months later, tragedy struck Shelton's world. On January 17, 2012, his father, Dick Shelton, passed away at the age of 71 after battling illness. The loss weighed heavily on Blake, reopening old wounds. He was reminded of another heartbreaking moment from his youth, when at just 14 years old, he had lost his older brother Richie in a tragic car accident in 1990. These painful memories shaped not only his outlook on life, but also the way he approached love, grief, and music. Together, Shelton and Lambert poured their sorrow into art. They wrote about Richie in the hauntingly emotional ballad Over You, performed by Lambert. The song resonated deeply with listeners, capturing raw grief and unspoken pain. In 2012, the song was awarded the Country Music Association's Song of the Year. A year later, it earned further acclaim, being named both Single Record and Song of the Year at the Academy of Country Music Awards. Through their music, Shelton and Lambert honored Richie's memory, proving that even the deepest heartbreak could be transformed into beauty. Yet, despite music's power to heal, cracks began to form in their marriage. By July 20, 2015, Shelton and Lambert announced their divorce. The separation was finalized that very same day, ending a chapter that had once symbolized hope and unity in the country music world. As the summer of 2015 unfolded, Shelton found himself working closely with Gwen Stefani during the 9th season of The Voice, Like Him. Gwen was carrying the weight of heartbreak, having recently gone through her own highly publicized divorce. Their shared pain created a bridge of empathy and understanding between them. Both knew the sting of broken promises, and in the process of comforting each other, they began to build something new. Shelton later admitted that Gwen came into his life at the perfect moment, just when he felt the most lost. What started as a friendship quickly blossomed into romance. Music became their shared language once again. In that same year, they co-wrote "Go Ahead and Break My Heart," a tender duet that captured the fragile beginnings of their relationship. Released on Shelton's 2016 album, If I'm Honest, the song became a window into their hearts. Fans could hear the uncertainty, the hope, the cautious optimism of two people daring to try again. Their musical chemistry only grew stronger. In 2017, they collaborated on the festive track "You Make It Feel Like Christmas" for Stefani's holiday album. By 2020, their love story was shining brightly for the world to see. They released 2 more duets, "Nobody But You" and "Happy Anywhere," both of which soared to the top of Billboard's U.S. Country Airplay chart. These songs not only showcased their voices, but also proved that their relationship had struck a chord with audiences across the globe. Shelton openly reflected on how Gwen had transformed his understanding of love, confessing that he thought he had known love before, but only through her did he truly grasp its meaning. On October 27, 2020, Shelton proposed in a deeply personal moment at his Oklahoma ranch chapel. Gwen's 3 children were present, symbolizing the blending of their families. Then, on July 3, 2021, Shelton and Stefani were married in that same chapel. The intimate ceremony was tender and warm, filled with the presence of loved ones. Through his marriage to Gwen, Shelton also embraced his role as stepfather to her 3 sons. He often shared how deeply he cherished this responsibility, saying that becoming part of their lives gave him a new sense of purpose, one that extended far beyond the stage, even as his personal life flourished. Shelton's career reached remarkable heights. In 2015, Forbes estimated his yearly income at $28.5 million, cementing his status as both a superstar in country music and a fan-favorite television personality. His story even had some surprising twists. In June of 2017, during HLN's special hour Journeys Home, it was revealed that Shelton and host Robin Meade were distant. Relatives' 4th cousins aiding, an unexpected layer to his already colorful journey. Shelton's role in the country music family went far beyond singing. On October 12, 2019, he officiated the wedding of his close friend Trace Adkins to Canadian actress Victoria Pratt in New Orleans. It was a reminder of his role not only as a performer, but also as someone trusted to guide others into life's most important moments. But just when it seemed everything was perfectly balanced, trouble began to shadow his relationship with Gwen. Blake Shelton has always been one of the most beloved figures in country music. His easygoing humor, his down-to-earth southern charm, and his voice that could both soothe and inspire had earned him millions of loyal fans. To many, he wasn't just a star, he was a source of comfort, someone who reminded them of honesty and home. Yet even someone so admired is not immune to life's hardships. For Shelton, one of the hardest moments came after the American Music Awards. What should have been a night of celebration, spotlight turned into something else entirely. Instead of joy, Shelton was caught in a storm of rumors, questions, and emotions that weighed heavily on him. The American Music Awards, a place usually filled with laughter, music, and applause, became the stage for a personal struggle that no one had expected. Fans who had already shed tears after news of his separation from Gwen Stefani now faced yet another heartbreaking twist. Reports suggested that behind the glamour, Shelton was dealing with emotional turmoil. The issue was not just one thing, but a mix of struggles, personal challenges colliding with professional pressures. On one side, there was the never-ending demand of his career. On the other, his complicated relationship with Gwen. When these two worlds clashed, the balance became too difficult to maintain. The 2025 American Music Awards became a mirror of these struggles. Fans had expected to see Blake and Gwen walk the red carpet together, perhaps even perform a duet as proof that their bond remained strong. Instead, the night told a different story. Gwen arrived alone, dazzling in a striking metallic gown, smiling for the cameras with confidence. But her radiant presence couldn't hide the bigger story that Blake was nowhere to be seen. Whispers spread quickly. Rumors suggested that Shelton had skipped the event after disagreements over a performance. Some said the couple had planned a duet, but Gwen had changed details without telling him, leaving Blake feeling blindsided. What was supposed to symbolize unity instead became a symbol of distance. The speculation deepened when Gwen performed a brand new song titled No Apology Required. With powerful pop-rock energy and lyrics about betrayal, distance, and the strength to stand on one's own, the performance captivated the audience. In the days that followed the American Music Awards, one topic seemed to dominate conversations everywhere: Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani. Fans, critics, and casual viewers alike filled social media with endless questions, heated debates, and countless theories. Many worried that the bond between Blake and Gwen, once admired as a symbol of resilience and romance, might finally be reaching its breaking point. Whispers began to spread that Gwen's performance on stage was more than just music. It was a coded message. It's a signal meant for Blake, or perhaps for the world to see. At the same time, attention turned to Blake himself. People wanted to know why he had chosen not to attend such a high-profile event, and why he was keeping so quiet while speculation grew louder with every passing hour. That silence, however, did not last long. On Tuesday morning, Blake finally broke through with a short note posted online. Though brief, his words carried an emotional weight far greater than their length. Instead of clearing the air or dismissing the rumors, the message suggested that silence often speaks louder than any song. Fans quickly sensed his pain, recognizing that the words were more than just a casual update. They were a glimpse into his heart. Responses flooded, and almost instantly, filled with encouragement, compassion, and heartfelt concern. Still, while Blake had cracked open a small window into his emotions, Gwen remained completely silent. Her decision not to respond only added more questions, leaving the public to wonder whether the distance between them was quietly growing wider. As all of this was unfolding for the world to see, Blake was hit with another blow, one that cut even deeper. His record label announced that his much-anticipated album, Backroads and Heartaches, would not be released as scheduled. Originally set for June 2025, the album had been described as Blake's most personal project to date. It was designed to carry songs filled with raw emotion, reflecting stories of love, heartbreak, and the kind of wisdom that comes only with time. For Blake, this album was never just a collection of tracks. It was his voice, his way of opening up his soul, and sharing lessons that had shaped his recent years. The label's choice to delay the project was not made easily. Executives worried that the ongoing drama surrounding Blake and Gwen would overshadow the music itself. They feared that instead of focusing on the lyrics and melodies, the public would keep circling back to the controversy. By holding the album back, they hoped to protect the music, giving it the chance to be embraced for what it truly represented. For Blake, however, this decision felt like yet another painful loss. He had poured his heart into every song, leaning on music as a safe haven during life's hardest moments. To see even that outlet taken away, even temporarily, was a wound he was not ready to face. Those closest to Blake have grown increasingly concerned. Friends describe him as someone who rarely shows his struggles openly. On the surface, he smiles, cracks jokes, and carries himself with his trademark humor. Yet beneath that exterior, the weight is undeniable. What he is facing now goes far beyond an award show absence or an album delay. It is about something deeper, a fear that his story, both as an artist and as a man, is beginning to slip out of his own control. Blake is no stranger to heartbreak. Back in 2015, the end of his marriage to Miranda Lambert marked one of the most painful chapters of his life. Lived under the relentless glare of the public eye, yet those who know him best say that this current struggle feels different. His relationship with Gwen had long been seen as a steady anchor, one that weathered storms and stood the test of time. To now see old doubts resurface through hidden messages and performances and through very noticeable absences has made this chapter especially painful. While Blake wrestles with his emotions, Gwen continues to remain silent. Some believe her quietness is intentional, a way to let the storm naturally fade without fueling more headlines. Others think she may be using this time to reshape her public image, reminding audiences that she is not just part of a celebrity couple, but a strong, independent artist in her own right. Her performance at the American Music Awards seemed to strengthen this theory. With its fierce energy, it reminded fans of her early solo years. Echoing the bold spirit of her beginnings, cultural commentators point out that Gwen has always had the ability to reinvent herself when the moment called for it. This could very well be another transformation, her way of stepping into a new era that offers her greater freedom as both an artist and an individual. If so, breaking free from being seen solely as half of a country pop power couple may be part of her long-term vision. But this leaves one pressing question hanging in the air. How will Blake recover from all of this? At present, Blake Shelton has retreated to his Oklahoma ranch. Far from the noise of fame and the constant chatter of the entertainment world, he has chosen a quieter path, one filled with simple routines, songwriting, and the grounding presence of family and nature. Friends say he is pouring himself into the things that bring him peace, though they also admit this may be one of the hardest emotional battles he has faced in many years. Blake has always carried his pain with a mix of humor and charm, often hiding his struggles behind an easy smile. But this time, the weight feels heavier. Even so, there remains a spark of hope. His most moving music has often been born out of heartbreak and sadness. Many believe that this season of hardship may once again inspire songs that reach people on a deeper level. Fans are waiting eagerly, hoping that the struggles he faces now will eventually be transformed into art that speaks to their own emotions and experiences so far. Blake has not shared any updates about the delayed album or his relationship with Gwen Stefani, yet his history shows that he has always found a way to rise after difficult times. His audience trusts that, once again, he will turn sorrow into strength through music. For years, people have leaned on his songs for comfort, and now, in return, they are ready to stand by him, with their love, support, and encouragement. Fans are determined to walk beside him as he makes his way through this difficult chapter of life. Though the storm around Blake and Gwen continues to swirl, many believe this period could mark a turning point in Blake Shelton's life and career. Every challenge he has faced in the past, from heartbreak to public scrutiny, has eventually shaped him into a stronger artist. This moment may be no different. What appears right now as silence and withdrawal could actually be a time of reflection, a chapter where he gathers strength to return with music that resonates even more deeply. Industry insiders suggest that Backroads and Heartaches may, in time, be remembered as Blake's most defining work. Built from honest emotion and real-life struggles, the album holds the potential to connect with listeners on a level that transcends chart success. When it finally sees the light of day, it may not just be another release, it could stand as a testimony of survival. A reminder that even in pain, beauty can be created. As for his personal journey, Blake's close friends say that the ranch in Oklahoma has become more than just a retreat. It's his sanctuary. The wide open skies, the quiet hum of nature, and the comfort of familiar faces have given him space to breathe. In the stillness, he writes, he thinks, and he heals. While fans only see glimpses of his world through occasional posts or rare appearances, those who know him say that this slower, quieter life has been essential in helping him find his balance again. For many, Blake's choice to remain relatively quiet during such a loud period speaks volumes. In a world where celebrities often rush to defend themselves, post constant updates, or fuel headlines with statements, Blake's restraint feels deliberate. Silence, after all, has always carried power. It allows room for reflection, for letting emotions settle, and for finding the right words instead of reacting in haste. Fans, while concerned, have started to understand this. Their messages of support are not demanding explanations, but offering love and patience. They know that behind the charm and humor, Blake is a man who feels deeply, and right now, he may be choosing stillness as his way of coping. Meanwhile, Gwen's silence continues to raise questions. Is it an act of grace, meant to shield both herself and Blake from more public scrutiny? Or is it a sign that she, too, is stepping into a new phase of life, one where her identity is separate from the love story that has defined her in recent years? Her strong performance at the American Music Awards seemed like more than just entertainment. It felt like a declaration. A reminder to the world that Gwen Stefani is still the bold, vibrant artist she has always been. Whether intentional or not, that energy has left fans speculating about her future as much as Blake's. A love story at a crossroads together. Blake and Gwen once seemed unshakable, the couple that gave people hope that love could endure even under the harshest spotlight. Now, with whispers of distance, delayed projects, and unspoken feelings, their story appears to stand at a crossroads. No one knows for sure which path they will take, whether they will find their way back to one another stronger than before, or whether this chapter will close as each of them carves out a different path.